It's Rock the Bells Radio. Your boy Torae is here. That classic timeless hip-hop is here. Listen, man, big emphasis on hip-hop right now, on lyricism, on bars, on showmanship, on energy, on genius. You know what I mean? My man said he make headlines like corduroy pillows. I'm talking about none other than the king from Queens, my man Pharoahe Monch. What up, bro?
Ooh, what's good, sir? It's good to be back, man. It's good to be here.
Always a pleasure anytime we have you come to the building, because it's not often, Pharoahe.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you be hiding out, Pharoahe.
I be hiding out, but you know, in the end, I'm here and I'm good and I'm strong and I'm healthy and we here, and that's what's important.
Absolutely, man. And you know, you don't just show up for no reason. You always, when you pull up, it's for good reason. It's new music, it's new ventures, it's shows. We got a little bit of all of that right now.
Yeah, man, lot coming down the pipe. You know what I mean? We got, you know, tomorrow the gig that we doing at Lincoln Center, which is a big thing for me. 25th anniversary of this Internal Affairs album. And usually I just, you know, run through it is what it is, but I'm super excited and I'm super proud for the project. And it's a celebration, and my boys are coming through, the incredible MOP and
Crazy.
Who were on the album, and Talib Kweli, who was on the album, and they all pulling up with other special guests. So it's very celebratory how I want to do the show, you know, want to go in, but I want to make sure that everybody feels like it's a good time, and it's beautiful that we're here to celebrate something from 25 years ago.
Absolutely. Take me back 25 years ago, you or 26 years ago, I guess, you know, to go into the creation process of the album, coming off of Organize and stepping out on your own solo 2 feet. What was the thought process behind that, the energy behind that? What was the reason behind that?
Right. I had a whole lot to say of personal, you know, things that I wanted to write about that I thought would be unfair. You know, it's called Internal Affairs. So, you know, I had a whole thing I was telling Prince, like, I need to get all of this shit off my chest, man. Like, and I think it would be unfair to bring you into this kind of chamber that I want to go into. So he gave me his blessings to go ahead and do it. But at the same time, it was like, you know, I had ideas. But like Buster was saying when he left Leaders, it was like, damn, I never did a song on my own before. I got to write all 3 verses or both verses and a chorus and hold it down on stage. Can you even do that? And do you even believe you can do that? So in the interim process, I really worked hard at going overseas and going on the road by myself and saying, you know, let's check if you're really built for this solo shit before you just throw something out. And I went on the road with Destroy and his group and High and Mighty and Barbito. And I was just like doing demos and, you know, new songs in front of the crowd. Like, let's see if you really bout it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
What is that like, though? You know, obviously being in the group and always having somebody to your left or your right, just knowing that somebody is there to hold you down, to pick it up. And, you know what I'm saying? So, like, when you get out there on your own solo, you know, what were some of the thoughts in your mind? Like, how did you deal with it?
I was like, how you gonna do this shit with asthma, bro? Like, Prince was your other lung. You know, he got you on the ad-libs and all that. So from a technical aspect, I was like, you gotta get, you know, in shape to do this. And we were working on demos with my man Lee Stone. I would ride my bike in the summer, you know, 10 miles to his crib to work on songs. And I wanted it to feel like Rocky. Like, even though Organized was underground, the budgets were crazy back then. We were in Battery and all these big studios with the fruit basket and the food to order, and it was plush.
Right.
And I wanted to take it back to, like, how do you, like, put padding in the closet and just get back to the griminess of really trying to see if you are about it. So I wanted to put myself through that situation and be like, yo, let's not do this if you're not up for it. And that was just a whole training of being grimy. And then, you know, that the features, you know, when you're in a group, it's not many features you can add to that situation. So with Internal Affairs, I was like, man, you know, I want to work with some of my favorite artists, which was a new experience for me as well.
For sure, man. We talking about 25 years of this incredible album, this classic album. Pharoahe Monch is here. The Internal Affairs show is tomorrow. It's going to be crazy. I want to take the people to a place. You know what I mean? I want to transport the people to a place 25 years ago. You know what I mean? Where Donovan was at, man, in Queens, right? On Guy Yard Brew.
Exactly.
Let's take them there, Pharoahe.
Okay.
It's LL Cool J's Rock the Bells Radio. Your boy Torae. It's that raw. It is LL Cool J's Rock the Bells Radio. It's big Queens energy. I know LL is somewhere riding around listening, just smiling and loving this. You know, he's such a Queens guy.
The GOAT. He shouted me out in the interview, man. That means everything to me because you know, anybody who knows, like, even on Internal Affairs, you know, what is a scorpion, an animal that stings?
Yeah.
Is from what is a panther? You know, like,
right.
You know, I've been borrowing from his joints for years, so.
Paying homage, yeah.
So he's that dude, man, and it meant a lot that he shouted me out as one of the people he listened to and one of his favorite MCs.
For sure. And even when we were discussing this particular conversation, you know, he was excited about having you on and, you know, having a platform. Like, that's what this is about. This hip-hop culture is our thing. Mm-hmm. And a lot of other people, a lot of outsiders, as I like to say, are involved and they're guests here, they're visitors here, but they act like they own this shit. But when you actually have ownership and you have somebody with the pedigree of a LL Cool J who's able to have a platform like this and be like, oh, Pharoahe got new music, let's run it. Oh, Pharoahe got a show, let's bring him up. Like, that's beautiful. That's the beauty in this shit.
I start hearing Prisoners of War on the radio, and you're like, yo, that love is insane. You know what I mean, man?
Yeah, like
shout out to L, man. Shout out to L.
No doubt.
Shout out to L. Shout out to L. Queens get the money.
So are you gonna, and shout out to Jay Hudson and DJ Not Nice is here. Are you gonna be doing the album top to bottom?
Nah, but I am doing a great percentage of the album.
Okay.
But I do wanna, you know, have fun. And, you know, Internal Affairs is a pretty dark record.
it can go there.
Yeah, and we're gonna touch on some of those things during the show. But there are other elements that I wanted to add from other albums and just having fun on stage and just, you know how we do, like adding other elements. And I think the audience is really going to appreciate the joyous that I have and the joy that I have for the album.
For sure.
and the commemoration of the album. So, yeah.
I've had the pleasure of watching you rock numerous times. Talk to me about your desire, no pun, to really bust ass on that stage. Like, where did you learn that from? Because the energy is at 1,000, bro. And you know this, like, and you already spoke about Asthma, you had songs about it and all of that, but like, yeah, you would never know. Like, your energy is always crazy. You leave it all out there. Where did you pick that up from?
Well, you know, just being blessed to tour with the likes of De La Soul.
Incredible.
And Common and Talib, and, you know, going into the raucous era, I got to watch Black Star. You know, I was like, pick up on what Cats is doing in presence and keep growing. You know, Organized was mad ill. We used to come out with the minor lights on our head, and it was all about showmanship. But I wanted to continue to grow with my career, so I was studying other people, and, like, you know, a couple of times I would be touring and have these out-of-body experience. Like in basketball, they call it, yo, he's unconscious right now.
Right.
And once you feel that, and it's like you're not even in control, the rhymes and the music is just flowing through you effortlessly, you always try to recapture that because it's like, it's godly. You know what I mean? And I'm always striving to catch that. It always doesn't happen, but you want to get to that point. I try to get to that point where it's like, I could feel my hair standing up, so I'm always searching for that on stage.
Nah, I've seen you like leave Earth on stage, if you will, and just go crazy. Man, this album, it means so much to so many people. For a very long time, it was unavailable, but we love the fact that it's there now. So talk to me about the business, how you've learned the business over the years, and how you've been able to capitalize on your business as far as cataloging things is concerned.
I mean, that's key, man. It's everything, especially right now. Licensing and ownership of your music as a creative and whatever you do as a creative is everything. And, you know, over the years, you know, when you have some longevity, you know, your stuff should return to you, and you got to work at it sometimes to get it, especially artists from my era. And the projects I've been doing along the way, I've been trying to work out situations where I get my masters returned to me.
Right.
And so I can license things out, and they could be in films and commercials and so on and so forth. And just your legacy and what you pass down to your family, you know, you created it. And, you know, in the beginning, in the 90s, for me, who thought we could, you know, we were just happy to get signed. You know, no one was giving us that tutelage and that game back then.
Mm-hmm.
But now we have it, and we can scream it to the mountaintops, to the new up and coming artists. Like, that's the game right there. You want to, you know, have a trajectory towards your own label and ownership.
For sure. You talked about just being able to kind of give that game to the newer generation. Is that something that you want to have along with your legacy of being an incredible artist and an incredible performer, kind of giving game to the new generation, anybody you listening to or anybody you just put under your arm and talk that real to?
Of late, the last thing I did was a situation with NYU where I was a professor there for a semester and got to work with new artists and producers and singers, and, you know, just the brilliance of what these kids is doing right now with beats and production. And, you know, I didn't think it would be at that level. And most of them, you know, I'm on camera like, damn, what did you use to make this, you know?
Right.
You know, it was incredible. And some of the artists even brought me to tears. This one girl, I can't remember her name, she did like a film with her song. And she was like, I wanted to be interactive and I wanted to be this. And it was just really dope. So they're super advanced and they may not have the light shined on them yet, but I think, you know, the music is in good hands at the end of the day.
Yeah, it's a lot of incredible young talent out there just building and emerging. And right there, you know, the business is always going to be what the business is, but the music is something totally different from that. And the music is really in a dope space, like you said. Pharoahe Monch is here. It is LL Cool J's Rock the Bells Radio. You know, I mean, I'm not like a young artist, but back in 2016 when I did my sophomore album, I reached out to my brother and we was able to cook something up. I mean, he really went crazy. I just want the people to hear it. I want the people to feel the love.
Man, this is classic
right now.
bro.
You know what I mean? Because why have a radio show if you can't play your record, right?
Let's do it.
Let's get to this What's Love Torae featuring Pharoahe Monch here on Rock the Bells Radio. At classic, timeless hip-hop is what we bring through here. It is LL Cool J's Rock the Bells Radio. My man Pharoahe Monch is here, MC, Queens legend, brilliant mind, incredible performer, genius collector, just sports fanatic, Knicks guy. There's so many touch points, Pharoahe. So many things about you that I really enjoy. But we talk about classic, timeless hip hop here, and we also do a thing called Breaking Bells, where we highlight something new, either from some of the OGs that are still cooking up that dope, or maybe from a new artist with that classic pedigree. Now we spend a lot of time talking about internal affairs, but what's right around the corner, Pharoahe?
Yeah, that's it, man. Like 25 years later, I'm doing a follow-up album to Internal, and it's called External. And you know, I'm working really hard at it. I'm a you know, nut and crazy about everything being perfect. I'm a perfectionist. And one thing I wanted to implement is that the growth of the 25 years, you know, with the bars is very sample heavy and chop heavy. So we're already spending a gang of time trying to clear samples. You know how that is with me.
Fun.
And and it's crazy. And it's just some of the features that I got are like real, you know, unicorns that were very hard to get.
You're a unicorn. That's very hard. How about that?
So we got some unicorns working together in terms of features, you know, and on the
I don't like this
record.
vagueness. I don't like to cut you off.
It's gotta be vague.
I don't like this vagueness. I don't like it. I don't like it.
I promised that I wouldn't
You're not gonna
divulge the information.
Okay. Who did you promise this to?
Zoe?
Oh, God.
Management.
I don't care about either one of them. Neither one of them could whip by. No, when the time is right, you'll let us know. I mean, obviously, I'm privy to some of the information, but when the time is right, you'll let the people know.
Yeah, and the records are really dope, and it takes time when you're not working with like one producer, because you got to make sure the music is cohesive,
right, with
multiple cats. So it's coming together. We're like 90% done.
Fire. I can't wait to have an opportunity to bring it here to Rock the Bells, but also just to go to the studio and listen and catch a vibe with you. You touched on the work and the sample clearing process. a lot of artists who've had huge records, maybe they've had one huge record and it's kind of overshadowed the rest of their career or catalog. You have a monster. You have a hip-hop classic with Simon Says, but with that, there's a lot that comes along with it. So when you hear Simon Says, when you think Simon Says, what are just some of the thoughts? Huge record, probably your most known record, but it legally, it was a little stress and strife. So just tell me how you feel when you think Simon Says.
Oh man, to just be totally honest, it's beautiful. Like, I know people get tired of those records in their careers. I've heard artists on stage be like, I'm gonna do this, but I've done it a million.
Well, 1,000,001, Dan.
Yeah, I love the fuck out of this song, and I perform it like I do with that vigor every time. I mean, small spots, 12 people, stadium, whatever. I love the song because it was able to bring me to where I am right now. And although it was, disparaging, situations with the sample or whatever, the song did a lot for me. And I learned to also move beyond the song by watching my peers like Talib and Yassine, in the sense that, it's a career and you're not a jukebox and you're not beholden to one song. And that's something I learned from them. It's like, you got to make music and move on, and that it doesn't define who you are as well.
For sure. Was there ever a time where you didn't want to perform the song?
There's been situations where I've been paid to perform the song and got to that situation, like, it's kids and church people.
You ain't want to tell a church people to get the fuck up?
Nah, I didn't want to do it.
You didn't want to tell a church mother to rub her titties? Good. Yeah. You shouldn't have.
Yeah, but that being said, my mom's is a huge church goer, and when the record dropped, she took it to a church like, my son got a song out right now. I'm like, Mom, no.
Well, I hope she's listening right now, because we're about to get into it. Pharoahe Monch is here. It's LL Cool J's Rock the Bells Radio. Turn your volume all the way up. Break the dial. You know what this is, man. It's that classic timeless. It's Rock the Bells Radio. Pharoahe Monch is here right now. Tomorrow you will be
Lincoln Center, 7 o'clock sharp. You know what I'm saying? Internal Affairs 25th anniversary. MOP, Talib Kweli, other special guests. Just announced my man, Your Old Droog, is also pulling up to perform with Edon on the ones and twos. And the event is free.
It's got to cost a bunch of money, Pharoahe. What do you mean?
Free. It's free. What better price can there be than free?
That's my favorite price on the planet.
Man, it's going to be crazy out there.
Man, how do you prepare for a show like this at home? You've traveled around the world. You've done, like you said, huge spots, small spots. But it's home, and it's 25 years, and it's got to just be a little more just at the heart. It's got to feel a little more different. Talk to me about just how you prepare for a New York show.
Oh, man, again, man, it's celebratory. Like, a lot of cats, a lot of MCs and fellow artists are going to be there. So it's, I'm going to play to the crowd, but it's going to feel like home. You know how New York is. And me and Boogie Blind, my DJ, been in the lab just rehearsing for this for like weeks now. Just little intricate things that we want to touch up on and get fly. So we ready, man. We ready. Tomorrow, 7 o'clock, Internal Affairs, free. There's no better price than that. I need to see you out there.
We need to see you out there. I will be outside the building, in the building, and all of that. Just shifting gears slightly, Pharoahe. New York Knicks, some trades is going down. Some new people is coming to town. How we feeling about the squad?
I feel real good, man. Bridges is defensive minded. He doesn't need the ball. You know what I'm saying?
But he can score the ball.
But he can score the ball. He can. And that was the problem last year. It wasn't enough players who could create their own shot.
Exactly.
Now we might have 4 guys on the floor at the same time that you have to pay attention to. And towards the end, it felt like 5-on-2.
Yeah.
And everybody, even though they weren't sticking Brunson, you could tell they were looking at him. They're like, if you try to do your dance, we going to triple team you.
The crazy shit about Jalen, when I really got a real super respect for him, because he was figuring that shit out.
Yeah.
He was figuring that shit out. Like, they were sending 2 at him, and yeah, he was getting caught up maybe for a couple of quarters or even a game, but in that series, he started to figure that shit out and start getting back to his spot. I was like, oh, he's for real.
Yeah.
He's for real.
He won the hearts of the whole New York with that, because you could see they were throwing 2 and disguising, what they would throw at him, a straight double team, or they would run at him once he would get into his move, or how many seconds is left on the clock, and he figured it out without a lot of help. Yeah.
Great basketball mind. As everybody was going down, we was like, damn, how long can this last? You know what I'm saying? But I think we had a great last season. I'm definitely looking forward to next season. I saw a spike over the weekend, so we New York City Knicks excited.
Nice.
Pharoahe Monch, LL Cool J's Rock the Bells Radio. Make sure you pull up to the show tomorrow. Make sure you support the new album when it drops and anything else Pharoahe got going on. You always got a home here and a platform here. Appreciate you, my brother. You are one of our most elite in this thing. The aliens, the unicorns. You in that very rare air, and we love you, bro.
I appreciate you, man. I appreciate the love, and it feels good. And I'm accepting the love 25 years later, so it feels real good. These verbal hugs that I'm getting.
Yeah, you one of them ones.
Yeah.
Let's rock the bells.